So the wrangle and the bitter debate over the threat of impeaching the president because of his handling of the growing problem of insecurity in Nigeria. Political rivals going head to head on who's got the right of it. The presidency fighting back with some confidence, calling the whole thing a waste of time. But are the president's aides being overconfident? Could there yet be a sting in the tail? Well, to help us consider all that and more, I'm joined for the rest of the program by two analysts who will offer their perspectives on the news and talking points of the day. The writer and columnist Dele Olowu is in the studio, as is the journalist, policy strategist and Arise News analyst Waziri Adio. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. What are your thoughts on this, Waziri?
Well, it's very interesting, and this is a process that has not started. We need to put that in context. A notice of allegation has not been served. But if we go back a little bit into history, the people who invented the presidential system of government are the Americans. Absolutely. And they made provision for impeachment of the president, right? Because the American system was to create a very powerful president who they sometimes call the democratic king. But at the same time, they want to make sure that they keep him in check. So they erected all kinds of checks and balances, all kinds of regards around him, guardrails around him. But even in America, over 200 years of democracy, they've not successfully impeached any president. 4 presidents have been impeached by the House of Representatives in the US, but they couldn't get the number in the Senate, because in the US, you need simple majority in the House. So 4 presidents: Andrew Johnson in 1868, Bill Clinton in 1998, Donald Trump in 2019 and 2021. But they couldn't get the numbers in the Senate. In fact, Andrew Johnson escaped by 1 vote. They needed just 1 extra vote to will have been impeached. If you look at the Nigerian situation, you have 6 steps. And by the way, we have not started with the 1st step. And that 1st step is the easiest, in which you need to get a third signatures of a third of the National Assembly. You have 469 members of the National Assembly, so you need 155 members to start the process. But it gets more complicated after that. The only president who has actually faced impeachment in this country was President Obasanjo in 2002, and the process didn't even start. What they did was to give him an ultimatum to say, if you don't do this in 2 weeks, we're going to initiate the proceedings.
Which is what they've done now as well.
So it gets deeper than that.
Right.
My sense is that this is more like a wake-up call. Everybody should be concerned about the security situation in the country, especially the president. And I think this should put him on notice. But I don't think impeachment is something that they can get through. Given the arithmetic, you need 2/3 to pass a motion for the issue to be investigated. Okay. After setting up the panel and the panel finds him guilty, you need 2/3 of the National Assembly, which is 72 senators and 234 House of Reps members. And by the time you get to that stage, it gets more complicated. It's not just about party. Regions come in, politics, ethnicity, religion, and all that things come in.
Let me bring Dele Olowu in. Thank you very much for your patience. Do you get the feeling that, given what Waziri Adio was saying, which is a factual analysis, I mean, that the president is supremely unconcerned with all this noise coming from the National Assembly?
Quite frankly, I'm curious about the National Assembly that after several years of somnolence, sleeping on duty, it has finally woken up to rise to its obligation. For once, it is the attack on the Kuje prison, along with the killing of those chaps at Buhari, that has spurred them on to take action. Many people see it as a bit of political opportunism. But whatever it is good that they have come out clearly to produce a challenge. Because quite frankly, the president was becoming something like an emperor. There were very many indiscretions. I can cite them. In 2017, 347 Shiites were killed. Nothing has been talked about it up till now, both amongst Muslims and among Christians.
Right, the Shiites who were protesting.
Yes, they were killed in Zaria. The man who supervised that slaughter is now ambassador to Republic of Benin. So this one is a great effort, because what happened at Kuje was not just a jailbreak. It was an attack on the Nigerian state system. And it all shows that the Boko Haram people are organized. They have a warehouse where they store their goods. They have a hostel where they stay. They have transport facilities for doing whatever they did. So they really require. It doesn't matter whether they succeed or not. I don't expect them to succeed with the impeachment move, but it will serve notice to everybody in power that there is a consequence for bad actions.
Right, okay, we've got about 90 seconds or so. If the security situation further deteriorates, that could change a lot of things, couldn't it? I mean, those who are wavering and who remain in support of the president might be forced to rethink their position, mightn't they?
Yes, but at the same time, I think many people are also looking beyond the president. He has 10 months to go. So we should be thinking about how do we hold this country together? And by the way, we shouldn't politicize security. All over the world, this Nigeria that has been attacked, right? All over the world, the country rallies together when you are faced with this kind of attack. So, but beyond that, we need to start putting the people who want to take over on the spot. What do you plan to do about security? And it's not just about want to tackle security. What exactly are you going to do differently? So the electionary period gives us the opportunity to begin to have that conversation and make sure that the next set of people, they're up to the task.
I want to thank you, both of you. Just a final word. We've got 20 seconds.
2 good points. An army, a military establishment that is not properly composed cannot fight a good and successful war.
So it needs a fundamental
Mr. Atiku
reform.
Made an important point which we should not ignore. He said that out of the 17 military establishments in Nigeria, all of them the heads come from one section of the country. If you are incompetent, if you are not properly represented, how can you fight a just war? And then the reaction of people from government house, people like Shehu Sani and Adeshina, saying the insecurity,
the minority of minorities.
That insecurity is a global. Right. Nobody is asking Buhari to guarantee security outside. We want security within Nigeria.
We must go. Dele Olowo and Waziri Adio, I apologize for the shortage of time. Thank you very much indeed. That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja and elsewhere, bye-bye and thank you for watching.